there, depth divers.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to dive into, well, it's a classic rivalry, right? Ford versus Ferrari. I mean, everybody knows the story, right? Ford, this American giant, taking on Ferrari and winning. But we're going to sort of unpack this and look for some surprising details about this clash of the titans. We've got some really fascinating excerpts from this French article. It's called Texte Calais, and it gives us really unique perspective. And of course, I have our resident expert here to break it all down.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Now, before Ford even entered the race, Ferrari was in kind of a tough spot financially. Can you believe that in 1960, they only made 306 road cars?
Wow.
That's a far cry from this luxury brand and how we know today.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Ferrari was a small player back then. They really relied heavily on their racing success. And while they had an impressive track record, they were essentially scraping by.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you have Ford, this behemoth, right, making a profit of almost $500 million in 1963. And that's the year that they made a play to buy Ferrari.
Yeah, Ford saw an opportunity to acquire this brand with a racing pedigree and a global fan base.
Yeah.
They thought it was a sure win.
So what happened?
Well, Enzo Ferrari, the man behind the magic, he rejected Ford's offer.
He said no.
He did.
Wow.
And he actually used that rejection to get a better deal with Fiat.
Oh, man.
So he's able to keep control of his racing team.
He played them.
He did. It was a power move.
So what did Ford do?
Well, they were furious. This rejection fueled their desire to not only beat Ferrari, but to dominate racing.
I love it. It became personal now. It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of Ford's eventual victory. But our French article highlights something crucial here. Ford poured a jaw-dropping $25 million into developing their race cars. I mean, can you even imagine? That was an astronomical amount of money back then.
Yeah, you're right. It's a testament to how determined Ford was to take down Ferrari. They spared no expense, throwing everything they had at this rivalry. Meanwhile, Ferrari was still operating on a much smaller scale, relying more on their ingenuity and experience.
It was like bringing a whole arsenal to a knife fight. But even with all those resources, Ford's journey wasn't exactly a walk in the park, was it?
Not at all. Their early attempts at Le Mans in 1964 and 1965 were close, but no cigar. They faced setbacks, coming in fourth behind, you guessed it, a trio of Ferraris in 64, and then dropping to 8th place in 65.
Ouch. That's got to sting, especially after you've poured your heart and millions of dollars into it.
It's easy to underestimate just how grueling endurance racing is. These races, like the 24 Hours of Le Mans, aren't just about speed. They're about building a car that can withstand extreme conditions for an extended period. Ferrari had a decade's worth of experience at Le Mans, and their cars were practically born for it. Ford, on the other hand, still had a lot to learn.
So talk about a trial by fire. But then came 1966, and everything changed. Ford roared onto the scene with their redesigned GT40 MKII, sweeping the podium with a 1-2-3 finish. Ferrari, meanwhile, could only manage a distant 8th place. What changed? Did Ford find some secret weapon?
Well, their secret weapon was hiding in plain sight. That massive 7.0-liter V8 engine in the GT40 MKII. Now, Ferrari's cars were known for their powerful V12 engines. But Ford's strategy was all about displacement, twice the size, twice the torque. And on a track like Le Mans, with its long straights, that extra torque was a game changer.
It's like the saying goes, there's no replacement for displacement, right?
Exactly. And it wasn't just about brute force either. To achieve that 1-2-3 finish, Ford had to overcome a lot of technical challenges. They had to improve the car's aerodynamics, enhance its braking system, and most importantly, make sure it could handle the punishing demands of a 24-hour race without falling apart.
So it sounds like it wasn't just about outspending the competition, they had to outsmart them too.
Absolutely. Ford invested heavily in research and development, pushing their engineers to innovate and find solutions to the problems that had plagued them in previous races. Their victory was as much a testament to their engineering prowess as it was to their deep pockets.
So it wasn't just luck or money that propelled Ford to victory. It was a combination of resources, determination, and some serious brain power. But even in defeat, Ferrari's legacy loomed large, didn't it?
Absolutely. This French article we're looking at emphasizes Ferrari's incredible winning streak. From 1958 to 1965, they dominated Le Mans for almost a decade. And they did it with a fraction of the resources that Ford had.
It really puts Ford's victory into perspective, doesn't it? It wasn't just about beating any competitor. It was about conquering a titan.
Yeah, Ferrari's success, it wasn't built on, this mountain of money. It was fueled by pure passion, this relentless dedication,
Yeah.
and really a drive to just push the limits of what a car could even do.
It's like they were writing poetry with engines while Ford was,
Yeah.
leading this blockbuster action movie. But I mean, that makes their achievements even more remarkable, don't you think?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's a perspective that often gets kind of overshadowed, I think,
Yeah.
by the
What?
drama of Ford's victory. Ferrari's legacy was really forged in those early years,
Yeah.
proving that,
Mm.
they could compete and often win against
Oh, what does this all mean for us deep divers? It seems like the Ford versus Ferrari rivalry. It's more than just
a gearhead showdown.
Right.
It's a story about ambition,
Yeah.
resilience, and this pursuit of excellence. Yeah. It's a story that goes beyond motorsports even. It's about what drives us to compete, what makes us want to innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible. And it reminds us that even in the face of defeat, there's always something to learn. There's always something to strive for.
And even though Ford took the crown at Le Mans in '66, Ferrari didn't just fade away. They've continued to dominate the racing world. I mean,
Yeah.
they even won the 24 hours of Le Mans in 2023 and 2024.
Yeah. Talk about a comeback. It shows that true legends, they never stay down for long.
Yeah.
They adapt, they innovate,
Yes.
and they come back stronger, driven by that same fire that ignited this rivalry in the first place.
Yeah, it's a testament to the power of passion, perseverance,
Yeah.
a little bit of that competitive spirit. This deep dive has really given us a whole new perspective on this rivalry.
I agree. It reminds us that there's always more to the story
Yeah.
than meets the eye, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's on the racetrack or in the boardroom
Mm-hmm.
or in our own lives, it's worth digging deeper, looking beyond the surface
Yeah.
to try to understand the forces that shape success,
Right.
failure, and everything in between.
Absolutely. So the next time you see a Ford and a Ferrari side by side, remember, there's a whole lot of history roaring under the hood.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Ford versus Ferrari rivalry. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.